Welcome to the VestedSports.com preview of UCHRGV men's basketball and Seattle U in Western Athletic Conference play. Fresh off of what's easily their best offensive performance of the year, that's a 101-point performance in a 107-101 loss in New Mexico State, the UCHRGV men's basketball team will look to gain some momentum ahead of the 2017 WAC tournament on Thursday when they face Seattle U from the UCHRGV Fieldhouse. Now, in their last outing, UCHRGV shot a season-best 50% from the floor while engaging in a back-and-forth slugfest with a perennial WAC favorite. And in fact, New Mexico State is the four-time regular season defending WAC champion. UCHRGV forced New Mexico State into 10 turnovers, 2 more than they committed in the same game, while then converting those turnovers into 15 additional points. And that really was the key for UCHRGV. That represented a major turning point for them as a team. When you think about UCHRGV, they're a strong offensive team, evidenced by 101 points. But their defense has always been a little bit suspect. They're not quite buying into that attack with discipline scheme that Coach Hill brings in. He wants those teams to be attacking, to be aggressive, but to do so in key moments. What UCHRGV struggled with is finding those key moments. UCHRGV coming in is 10-18, 2-9 in WAC, but that doesn't mean it's over. If they can pick up a lot of momentum coming in this Seattle U game and then win the game, they could potentially increase their WAC tournament seeding. It would appear that scoring is not the major issue, as UCHRGV holds the second most potent offense at 78.6. The real key will need to be a stringent defensive presence. UCHRGV head coach Lou Hill stressed that it was very important for his team to really lock down in his post-game comments against New Mexico State, saying that star Ian Baker was left open way too many times in transition. UCHRGV can score at a torrential pace, but the scoring really loses its luster if their defense can't hold up. The Carrols are led by everything guard Nick Dixon, who's averaging 18.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3.4 assists. Meanwhile, Antonio Green, who is tied at the second in NCAA with 104 three-pointers made, adds 16.9 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. Now, what's interesting about Dixon and Green is they combine to be one of just 6 duos in the NCAA to average at least 17 points combined. They're one of 2 guard duos to do so, and one of 2 duos to include either a freshman or a sophomore on the list. Green has distinguished himself as one of the best long-range shooters in the NCAA, and he is a premier shooter in the WAC. He's currently among the top 5 in the NCAA in three-pointers made, attempted, and three-pointers per game, while also leading the WAC in each of those categories. And taking a look at their opponent, Seattle U, Seattle comes in 12-14, 4-7 in the WAC, and they've lost 3 straight games. However, much like New Mexico State, 2 of those 3 losses came at the hands of perennial WAC leaders thus far, CSU Bakersfield and Grand Canyon, who are 1st and 3rd. The Red Hawks are a very balanced team. They don't necessarily excel in any specific aspect of the game, but are among the most consistent teams in the WAC, averaging 71 points per game while allowing 71.2 points per game. That .2 difference in scoring is the tightest of any WAC team. Their defensive prowess might be the difference in this game, as they have played very close to almost every opponent, and they represent a 10-point difference in the number of points they allow and the number UCHRGV allows, which is 82.2. Seattle has 4 players who average double figures in scoring, led by preseason All-WAC selection Brendan Westendorf, who's at 14.7 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. This guy fills the stat sheet. Couple that with the play of Zach Moore at 10.5 points per game, and the exceptional play of William Powell over the last 10 games, averaging 10.9 points, 9.3 rebounds, and the Red Hawks are a formidable team for UCHRGV to go up against. The Saturday's match will be the 9th pairing between UCHRGV and Seattle in a series that dates back just to 2014 when UCHRGV joined the WAC. The Red Hawks hold a 6-2 series advantage, including wins in 2 straight matches. You can catch all the live action on Spectrum Sports Network or on the UCHRGV YouTube page. Fans can also check the stats on gouchrgv.com. Of course, after the final buzzer, make sure to check back for a full recap with quotes right here on VestedSports.com. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the men's basketball preview on VestedSports.com.